Alright, hello guys. I'm bringing you another game from MLG. We have game number 2 between Drewbie and Tyler. We do have LiquidTyler from the Teamliquid team. He was incredibly good. We just saw him win in the last game, so this was a loser's pick map. And we have Drewbie from the team Root Gaming, who is the Terran in the left, who picked this map, Lost Temple. Very good map. You can see that it's been used a lot. It's been in the days of Starcraft 1 since so long ago. One of the really stable maps. It's even been used in Warcraft 3, and I don't know if it's been made to any other RTS games, but I would not find it surprising if it has. It's actually, I think it's probably. I want to venture a guess and say it's the only map that's ever spawned in 3 different games, which is kind of interesting to see. Now we can see that Tyler's actually doing same thing as always, as any protoss would ever do with the 9 pylon, but the only thing that I can really notice right now is the fact that it's not going to be a proxy. If Tyler was proxying, he would have sent out that probe a lot sooner, and right now it seems like we're actually going to see a macro game. Drewbie is just throwing down a normal timing on his barracks. We can see that he did just throw down a supply depot right here just to get as much mine time as possible with all of his SCVs. So macro game coming from both players, I would expect, assuming that we don't see another gateway thrown down instantaneously, but we do have a queued up probe, so we're not going to have a 12 gate, 14 gate pressure or anything. We're going to have refineries going down, so really I'm kind of interested to see what you're going to do, because last game it seems that his downfall was actually not getting up a starport fast enough. He went for a very long time with just Marines and Marauders, which seemed to have hurt him once Tyler got his Colossi out. So I'm curious to see how Drewbie is going to change his game plan in order to really make use of this. So he is getting his Orbital Command, he's getting a Marine out, and I love analyzing the psychology of best of 3s and best of 5s, because the fact that they're playing the same person and generally the same matchup, assuming the person's not a random player, 3 times in a row, you should generally have more than one strategy. And I love just watching how people adapt, how they actually change their gameplay, judging from the last game or the 2 games ago. And you can see that neither of them are doing anything cheesy, but it's going to be really cool to see how actually they're going to change their game plans just to make sure that they can actually get an advantage. And oh, Drewbie could have killed that probe. A little bit of a miss micro, but it's not a big deal. SCV is out. It's going to be able to see what's going to go on. And we have the first Zealot out. Another Stalker coming out. Warp Gate is going to be chrono boosted. Very key. Tyler's throwing down his pylon now. And we can see that a Tech Lab and a Reactor coming down for these guys. So Drewbie actually might be doing something similar from the last game. Maybe he'll get a faster expansion, though I doubt it. But it does seem he's going to go for the same Marine Marauder centric play without anything else. He doesn't even have a second gas yet. There's no factors going to go down. I don't know if he's going to be able to put he's probably going to plan on putting a ton of pressure early on, I would think at least, and try to do some damage with his Marines and Marauders, because Tyler just threw down more gateways. So if these guys can hit very soon, like, yeah, here we go, moving out with this small force. Oh, he might just be trying to control the watchtower. We shall see. But here we go. Sentries are coming out, and Tyler is just going to be wary of Reapers. That's why he has placed a Stalker up here, because this is a spot that the Reapers can come up. Especially in these positions, a Reaper can just go boom, achoo. Apparently a Reaper can just sneeze in the middle of a cast, and it'll be interesting. But yeah, anyway, the Reaper could go right down there and right up here, very short distance. And Tyler's just to prepare for that, make sure the Reaper doesn't get in, doesn't scout. He's got the Sentry there, the Stalker there, and he has a Zealot here, so we can see if any units come down here, he'll just be able to move down these guys and have them cover the ramp. So this Sentry is out, so he's actually going to expand, I would think. He's got over 400 minerals. He's going to scout, make sure he's probably safe, get control of the watchtower, and we have these guys coming here. That's going to push in. If Tyler decides to throw down his Nexus here, he's going to take a lot of damage, but it doesn't seem like he's actually going to. He's just moving down his army. He's probably saw the attack. He's now going to start prepping his army, try and get a good little positioning. You can see that he's really scanned right on top of the warp gates. But only one pylon's actually controlling them. But here we go, little push in, but it doesn't look like either player wants to engage. But there we go. Stalkers are right there. So Tyler does have the forces to defend. I'm kind of intrigued that he hasn't thrown down an expansion quite yet, because if you look at this, Drewbie has. But Tyler wants to attack. Look at that. Pylon up there in the front just gets absolutely destroyed. But DrewDrewbie is now going to start attacking for the gold. He really likes getting the gold expansions. Like he did the same thing on Blistering Sands. But here we go. Tyler's moving in. And now, okay, so now this goes. See how DrewDrewbie goes. He does not have stim yet. He does not have stim. But concussive shells are out. You have the production tab. We can see that no stim at all coming. But right now, DrewDrewbie is just going to push in. Tyler's just going to retreat. Still no expansion. Instead, Tyler's just getting up a larger army. So, the expansion is almost up for DrewDrewbie. DrewDrewbie is just pulling back. DrewDrewbie is a very defensive player, it would seem. He seems to really like turtling, and then just not push out, wait for his opponent to, and just macro up while his opponent does stuff. You can see that, yep, still just a barracks play. So, no plans to tech up. He's getting an orbital command now. We can see that, just Marines and Marauders off of 2 barracks this entire time. He's still not on his second gas. He's still only on 1 gas. He's got an engineering bay. Probably going to want to defend against the possibility of DTs. Like now's probably about the good time to start prepping for that, because it was evident that Tyler did not go for a DT rush. So if DTs were being teched up too, pretty soon is about when they might want to be coming in to try and do some damage. But Tyler does have really good position on his army, just guarding his choke. He did throw down his Nexus, so he's going to be able to start getting that up. He doesn't have his rally point set yet. But we're going to see how he's going to continue to macro up. He's getting a Robo down. So I'm going to expect a Colossi again, because that is what he did last game. He did come out victorious. So we'll see. Oh, look at this. Another command center from DrewDrewbie. He's expanding again to the gold. He's out-expanding the Protoss. So if he can just stay alive, it's going to work really well. But he's got to start getting medevacs or something. Because this just simply Marauder and Marine Force is going to be a little difficult to deal with, especially if he starts stimming. Because if he makes unnecessary stims, all of his units are going to lose a quarter of their health, or a fifth or sixth of their health, whatever their fraction is, for free. Especially if Tyler forces a stim, then it does a couple force fields to prevent the army from moving in, and just escapes right away. That would be absolutely deadly for DrewDrewbie to have to deal with, because then his entire army's in the red. And that'd be bad. But there we go. We do have Colossi coming out. He's getting an Observer out. And this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Because, especially with the orbital commands onto gold mineral patches are absolutely insanity. I've seen a game on Fighting Spirit where a Terran player got the gold expansion in the middle that actually has 12 gold mineral patches. It's insane. That map is so interesting to watch games on, especially long games where that middle base actually comes into play. Because the income skyrockets. The guy had 3,000 income, and it's incredibly important to see how a player uses gold income. You can see that, yeah, DrewDrewbie goes immediately for the complete just saturation of the gold. When you look at the income now, you can see that he's skyrocketing up to 1,500, 1,700, 1,800. Look, 1,800. He's going close to 1,900. He starts muling here. Yep, there's the mule, and we can see that there it is, 1,800. He got to 1,894, 1,900. And there you can see the income really come into play in terms of the gold mineral patch, because he's got almost double the income of Tyler. So Tyler's got to start doing something to make sure that he can actually deal with the economy that DrewDrewbie is getting. DrewDrewbie, interestingly enough, is not getting a planetary fortress or an orbital command over here. He's got his own command center. But also, okay, here we have the Observer is out. It's seeing the army. If Tyler can just move in and see that the gold is up, he's going to realize he's going to start hitting soon. DrewDrewbie is ahead in the food count. You can see that he's at 113 food versus Tyler's 105. This first Colossus is out. And we can see that no sound thermal lance yet. He does have the money for it now. We'll see, up there it is. He's going to go down. He's getting another Colossi out. But this army is getting really scary for DrewDrewbie. So how is this going to play out for Tyler? It's unclear. It seems that he's very zealot heavy, but he doesn't have charge or anything. And against this army, those zealots are going to die very quickly before they can enclose the gap to them. Now we can see that Tyler does have a fair amount of saturation over here. It's not perfect, but it's still pretty good. And the problem with that is the fact that DrewDrewbie did finally get a planetary fortress up here, and this is going to be hard to deal with for Tyler. He probably just thinks that DrewDrewbie's on 2 bases right now. Look at his vision. Yeah, he has no idea that that is up. He simply just sees this massive army. He's going to move away because the missile turret did just finish. But DrewDrewbie is in a commanding position. Because Tyler has no idea this is up, DrewDrewbie's got so much more money than Tyler thinks he's capable of having. Okay, here we have a factory. So does DrewDrewbie have starports? Okay, he's getting this up. There it goes. Vikings are coming out. He's supply blocked. He's got 145 food. Tyler's got 125. This is not looking good for Tyler. This gold base is doing so much to help DrewBie, and Tyler's done nothing. Tyler's been so passive that look at the marine count here. The Zealots aren't going to be able to get close distance at all, and that's going to be really, really bad. External Thermal Lance is not actually out yet, but here we go. We have DrewBie's just scouting with this factory, trying to see if there are any expansions from Tyler, but there aren't. Tyler's 50 minutes into the game and only on 2 bases still. He is starting to break down these destructible rocks, try to get his Nexus up here soon, but it might just be a little too late because the economy for DrewBie has been up by so much, it's ridiculous. So now Tyler's about to throw down the Nexus here, and he's about to throw down the Nexus. Okay, he just spent his money, so he's not going to be throwing down the Nexus, but I'm hoping he will in a moment. But look at this army count. Vikings are out. They have vision on this watchtower. There isn't even a missile turret here. So this observer is going to be trying to keep an eye on what's going on. But DrewBie is in a very good position. The longer this game goes on, like for the next probably 5 or 10 minutes, it's going to be in DrewBie's favor just because of the fact that this gold minerals are going to give him so much, just so much. And look at this marauder count. Holy, he's got so many marauders and marines. If we look at the units, we can just see that he has 33 Marauders and 36 Marines. That's a ridiculous amount of DPS. And against the 15 Zealots and then the 4 Colossi and the Stalkers, okay, good force fields, preventing this army from meeting up in the back, but they're going to be able to decimate the... Yeah, look at this. This is not looking good. They're just going around all the force fields. Tyler's trying to block them off, but... Okay, good force fields. These Vikings are in the back, taking out some of the Colossus, but look at this count. The force fields are doing so well. We have these Colossus doing a ton of damage. Stalkers are out. Look at this. The health on all these guys is so weak because of the lack of medevacs that Tyler's actually cleaning up. So that massive army of DrewBie has actually just got decimated. Look at this. Vikings are out. They're going to be able to snipe that one Colossi, but here we go. Tyler, really, really good. The problem is that you can see that DrewBie just has such strong macro that DrewBie is still ahead. And Tyler can't really afford to do that because his Nexus did only just completed at his gold. And now the army count's looking a little weak. We can see that, the APM instead of army, but, interestingly enough, Tyler's got almost 200 APM versus the 137 DrewBie, so very, very strong there. But still, DrewBie is ahead by 30 food in terms of food. We can see that army count is actually A, yeah, so here we go. If you look at the spending for the army, we can see that DrewBie is larger, or actually, it's really about the equivalent, but with the fact that there are 56 probes and 73 SCVs, we can see that DrewBie's about 20 food or so ahead of Tyler in terms of the actual army count food. Just because of Tyler has the less probes, even though he does have the less food count total. So now, actually, the army counts are about even if you take into account the probe versus SCV relationship. We can see, look at all these barracks. Is he getting medevacs yet? Okay, he's not getting medevacs. He's just getting Vikings. But now that he has a fresh new army, medevacs are a little less prevalent. But okay, this factory's actually start burning down. Tyler's probably going to take it out, make sure that no more starports can be made. But Tyler is on double robo right now, getting Colossi and probably switching to Mortals. Because the Viking count is going to force the Viking count to go very high, then get more Immortals to try and hit these Marauders. But here we go. Vikings do a lot of damage. They're actually be able to pick off Colossi. Really good job there. And now they're going to start here we go. But look at this. There are no sentries. There's no force field. The Marauders' count is so high. These Colossi are taken out almost instantly. And there we go. And GG from Tyler. But look at that. He just sees this army count. Knows that he can't do much. These Vikings could just land and destroy him. Let's move on to game 3. This is awesome. It's tied 1-1.